Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 551 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Takamalda, and I am joined today on this lovely Tuesday with two of the greatest geeks that you're ever going to meet, who are going to pretend that they are in low Earth orbit for the better part of a half hour and talk about whatever is random crap we put on a subreddit today. I have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
I said that pretty fast. I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, I was almost micro machine. You know.
Remember that guy? Didn't he die?
The fast talking dude?
Yeah.
Probably. Turns out if you talk too fast, you die.
I didn't name the episode, so I have the file open. What should we call the episode?
It is another week in lockdown.
The unending. Wouldn't it be great if it turned out that the lockdown was a palindrome and we had to live through the entire thing in reverse time, like Tenet?
What do you think the next 6 months is going to be like as we wait for our turn for a vaccine or whatever?
All right. What do we got on the list? I got a chain that cuts through an entire capsized cargo ship with video. Although it
with
like
video
animation, not like photos.
That is very interesting because this is one of the myths that was supposedly busted on Mythbusters, right?
Oh, what was the myth? I didn't see that one.
It was that a chain could cut through a person. Now I imagine it's much easier to cut through a person than a whole ship.
Oh, they were probably showing that that horror.
Maybe this happened. Maybe this happened like over a long period of time or something. But
yeah, I think the myth might have been there's a movie and I forget the name of it.
It was it happens in the remake of the Poseidon Adventure, but it happens in a lot of sort of ghost ship movies.
Yeah, actually, I think the movie Ghost Ship is where it happened.
Yeah.
And like it starts with basically a cable slicing through a group of people dancing or whatever on the deck of a ship, and and of course there's one girl who survives. Yeah.
I hate her because she'll always be stronger than me. I like that. I like the idea of that. I also like the idea that when they cut it into slices, that you put the slices on boats and take the slices away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I thought was interesting that I guess I've read about, but I never really thought about much before, which is the insurance policies on shipping vessels.
Yeah, that was really interesting, wasn't it? The average thing.
Yeah, the deal is that everybody shares the cost when it goes wrong. Because it would be unfair for you to get your boat like on the bottom of the set, or your cargo's thing on the bottom, and the dude on the top whose thing falls in. Like, why is that fair? Mm-hmm. And they all average out the values of the destroyed containers and then take out insurance policy. It's weird.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to have to pay it. It would stink, but better than knowing that you lose a container full of stuff. There was somebody who has some Kickstarter with like some 10,000 pieces, and he's like, I still don't know if it's going to arrive, and he's like, it's like a really awkward Kickstarter update. He's like, so the ship almost capsized and lost a bunch of cargo, and maybe we're in it, maybe we're not, we won't know until it gets to Long Beach. And it's like, wow,
that's weird.
That stinks. At least it's a good excuse for being late on a Kickstarter.
That's true. Way better than most of the excuses, which is, as far as I can tell, it's usually either we were incompetent or we were swindled by manufacturers in China.
This was harder than we thought.
This was hard. Who knew that going to a foreign country and building something to a very high quality from 7,000 miles and 14 time zones away was difficult?
Right. And also, we're going to do it at a premium point, at a production point. Good luck.
Yeah. Sign up today. You don't sign up for Kickstarters thinking that they're gonna happen. I hate to say it.
That's
It's
true.
like I've been pretty lucky with my Kickstarters. I'm only waiting on like 2 or 3 of the 11 or so that I've backed. So
I've waited for years for a few. I almost backed one this week. Somebody had a macro pad with like with a knob and like six mechanical switches, and I kind of wanted that just for the podcast, so I could have keys to like macro things, because my Stream Deck doesn't have enough buttons.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Kickstarter in a long time. I want to see what I got going on here.
What you're missing out on?
No. I listen. There's a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo that I backed. It was the Death by Clerks book.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this guy went through the old Doomsday book and the old archives of British Museum or something, and he found every death notice.
Okay.
And it's like, Bob was killed when he fell down a well. It's like that kind of thing. But it's honestly hilarious. Anyway, I backed this thing like 2 or 3 years ago so that my sister and I would get a copy of it. And we're still waiting.
Yeah.
And they sent updates and they're like, we're getting closer. And I'm like, it's been 2 years, dude.
Not too long ago, someone posted online like the annual death report. I think it was for Paris. It was some large city in Europe. And it was insane to see,
it's so funny.
Like 142 people died of hernia. 3 guys died after being hit by a horse.
Yeah. You don't think about the mundane because the media hypes, the exotic. We'll spend 6 months talking about shark deaths. But the reality is most people die from something boring or stupid.
Tripping on a stair, Mini Museum. Those have always been great.
Yeah,
That's Fraser and the guys.
I got those.
Those are nice. Dan Ariely did a card game, and I backed that.
I've done some card games,
and I backed his feature film.
I also did an automatic electronic guitar tuner, which was garbage.
This is interesting. So, I've got. These mostly have been delivered. I gotta say, of course, we're about turtles from the inestimable Dan Shapiro. He did a great job. Pixel Pusher, intelligent networked LED controller. Oh, I just backed the one. I didn't want it, but I backed it because it was a friend of mine doing it.
Well, let's see. We got.
And I backed a YouTube series so that I would get the Battlestar Galactica wristband from people who are involved. So
did it come with the triangle T-shirt thing that they wore?
No. I just got a bracelet. So.
The T-shirt style from Battlestar Galactica is very unique. It's shaped weird, and every time I see anything that approaches it in style, like, oh, they're ripping off Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Hayabusa 2 capsule, they got it out of the Australia desert. So now
That's a fantastic story.
That's a pretty amazing achievement to do this kind of stuff now.
I think so too. I mean,
the other fun thing about these is that it is. I've been following the Hayabusa 2 probe on Twitter for however long it's been out there, and I absolutely love the anthropomorphized probes tweeting as themselves. Like, I saw this today. I think that's the coolest thing.
Well, did you see the cartoon that they did? It's practically Pixar level emotionality. The one with the little spaceship that puts on its little backpack and goes down to the asteroid. Oh my gosh. It's like the kid going off to camp theme. And honestly, I'm a parent. I'm a sap. So I was totally like, he's going to be okay. Even though he's going to be on solar power and then he's going to be shut down for a little while. But then he'll come back. No, it's just like, it's absurdly cute. I'll find it.
We also, if we need a musical interlude, but without playing more than 5 to 7 seconds of audio at a time to get ourselves booted off the platform, Rob, The Who is not The Who that I normally listen to, and that's quite the video you found,
isn't it? So I actually went down into their catalog, and they're actually not too bad if you don't mind listening to music in Mongolian. And they're actually way more popular than I had anticipated.
Let me see if I can find this. Is it linked in the thing?
Yep. They've played for BBC Radio, their morning music show. Elton John has backed them at a few places. I mean,
they're
crazy.
Real. Yeah. They are very committed, for sure. There you go.
I'm gonna watch this later.
Unmute it, and give us like 5 seconds of the sweet stuff.
Are you ready?
This is visually striking.
Yeah.
But
There you go. Okay, that was your 5 seconds.
There you go. It's very heavy.
And this is lightning iron, huh? Or lightning gold.
It's gold. Visually, the video is interesting and stuff, but not necessarily melodic because, well, it's an English song that they translate, so it doesn't really rhyme that well.
Okay.
The other stuff is much more melodic.
Well,
And
if it doesn't rhyme, it's not music.
And impressive that it's played mostly on like traditional Mongolian instruments. They have 2 horsehead fiddles and other stuff. It's interesting.
I enjoyed it.
Look at that crap.
Yeah, that's gonna make me sad.
It's gonna make you cry.
No, it's not. I'm dead inside. I don't feel emotion anymore.
Just watch this show. It's like, it's incredible.
We will link to it
in the description below.
Fair enough. That's right. Or on the Taco Zone, Jake and Elon.
On the Taco Zone.
So I think the only other thing that I had on the list. Oscar Isaac is going to play Solid Snake.
Oh yeah. So.
I mean, whatever. I don't care.
I never played the Solid Snake stuff.
I liked a lot. What was the first one on the PlayStation 2? I loved that game.
Metal Gear Solid or whatever.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. That was a really fun game. I enjoyed all of those just fine, but I haven't played one in a long time. But I don't know. Oscar Isaac, sure, fine. It's weird that they're making that. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that they're making that. They're making everything.
If Kojima worked on something, they're making a movie from it.
All right. It's got that level of recognition. I think they figured out that if you can find a fandom that has like, you only need 1% of the population. As long as the fandom is passionate enough, you'll get your coverage to have a fair shake as a release. Yeah,
so that would be 1% would be 75 million people.
Well,
you know,
I mean, like a 1%.
$50.
Right.
That's a good take.
Yeah. No, it's you need like, it's not like you don't need a Star Wars, where there's 100, 200, 300 million fans. You just need to find the thing that has like a few 100,000 passionate fans, and that's enough. Something like The Witcher is even so big. Like everybody played The Witcher that was a PC gamer for a time, or at least was well aware of it.
I gotta tell you, I've said this before on the show. I loved the Witcher adaptation for Netflix. It was so much fun. It turned me around on Henry Cavill, the whole thing.
I liked it a lot too.
It was good, man.
It was one of those things that was aware of what it was.
Not
trying,
but it took itself seriously. It wasn't trying to be all jokey. It was
right. Like, it knew the line, and that's I think
except for the Bard.
I liked him.
You know what the Bard was doing? He was being Paul Bettany in A Knight's Tale. He's like, I could be Vision later.
So the other one that we had on the list is
Rob doesn't buy it. I can tell by his face. Like,
nope. He hated the Bard. I get it. We got Chuck Yeager.
Everyone hated the Bard.
I thought he was funny, but
yeah.
So Chuck Yeager died.
Well, I'm 97, man. I hope I last that long.
Talk about doing a good job. But I just wanted to mention my primary Chuck Yeager thing, which was Chuck Yeager's Advanced Flight Trainer.
I loved this game.
Yeah. That might be my first flight simulator. Now, I had Microsoft Flight Simulator before this. Yeah. But I played the crap out of this game. I learned who Chuck Yeager was because of this video game.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a bit part on The Right Stuff, mostly focused on the space dudes.
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, but this game, you could fly, serious planes against old stuff. You could fly an FA-18 against a bomber squadron.
It was also, I believe this was in the CGA era. I believe I played this one in the, I think there's a couple of sequels too that were better graphics, but this playing a flight simulator in what 320 by 200 CGA on machines that only had like 512K of memory or whatever. It's pretty darn cool. Although I did after this one, I got F117A, which was actually in VGA, and once video, I don't know, that's a weird time, right? When video games make the switch from CGA and EGA graphics to VGA graphics, the whole industry just kind of flipped on itself.
And then came Chuck Yeager's Air Combat.
I played that, but I didn't get into it. Like at that point, I was kind of over flight simulators.
How can you ever be over them? But okay.
I mean, I didn't build a rig just to play the new Microsoft Flight Simulator like some people on this channel might have.
Well, what's funny is I'm still waiting on a HOTAS, because then I can play Elite Dangerous in VR mode, which or even Squadrons. That's another one. It's like
I want
you
to
combine VR plus HOTAS plus
But Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out in a week.
So, yes, 2 days. It's been in development for 8 years at a true large studio, not some crappy indie studio with like 4 Canadians, right?
No, this is something that's going to be on the scale of A Witcher.
This is Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they have Keanu Reeves doing a character.
No, I'm buying that one. That one's happening. In fact, I keep trying to buy a 3080 card just so that I can play this game in RTX mode.
Well, I've got merely a 2080 Super. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
It'll be fine. You're playing it on a 2K monitor.
I've got a 4K monitor here.
Oh, see, you got a 4K monitor, like 140 hertz, 120 hertz,
144 hertz,
4K.
Yeah, it's the ROG. Whatever, So.
I think I have the same one, but mine's the 2K version of that.
Okay.
I would. I've been. What I really want is a widescreen aspect ratio that has the same vertical pixel count as a 4K display. That's what I want, but we'll get there in another year or two.
Yeah, it's the Asus ROG.
I would say ROG.
Probably ROG.
I would say ROG because it's gamers is what the G stands for. But by that logic,
ROG.
I have to mispronounce. GIF.
Well, I'm gonna call it ROG because it might annoy you. Asus ROG Swift PG27 UQ 27-inch gaming monitor, 4K UHD, 144 hertz G-Sync with eye care. What's eye care? I don't know. Don't care.
You don't. It probably.
If I loved my eyes, I wouldn't play video games.
It's probably an RGB thing.
Yeah. It does have RGB on the back.
My monitor does too, and I never think to turn it off.
You think to turn it on,
Well, it's on by default, and the way my monitor is positioned, I can't easily get the button because I have to reach under the button because I've got stuff next to it. So I never think to turn it off when I walk into my room and see the lights. See if the lights are on at night, because during the day you can't see it.
Here, let me. Dude, don't switch inputs. There you go. System setup. Is it ROG light signal, light in motion? Level 2, Aura RGB.
Yeah, I'll navigate through those menus one day.
It says it's on.
So you're RGBing the wall behind you. Pretty cool.
Wall. That's why I have a sort of red pallor, or green pallor. Yeah. But yeah, let me.
I just assumed that was the diseases that are slowly killing you.
Well, I guess maybe.
Or the booze.
Yeah, it's probably the booze. Was it you guys? Yeah, it was you, Rob, who was telling me they're rationing booze in your grocery store.
Yeah.
Wow, that is intense.
Yep. 2 bottles.
You, Mr. Ganders, know how to drink. That's all I got to say.
Well, that's true.
Mm.
I mean, everything else is legal. I don't know why people are wasting their time with booze.
Yeah.
I guess that's not true. I have family members who would probably continue to morally object to weed, but would not morally object to liquor. So they would probably just keep buying.
Liquor's just too strong for me.
I
like beer, wine, champagne, but liquor, it's just it's like an assault on the senses sometimes.
Okay, one thing we didn't talk about since last week. Are you guys caught up on The Mandalorian?
I am.
No, but don't let it ruin the talk. Go for it.
Well, okay, I'll just start by saying I thought that the last week's episode of The Mandalorian was the best one so far, at least in terms of raw action.
With
Nice.
Boba Fett?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
indifferent.
it was.
Isn't
I
Boba
thought
Fett
it was.
dead?
No. It was very, very much like a showcase for how awesome Boba Fett is, right?
Right.
Because Slave One makes an appearance again. He comes back without his armor, and he's still badass. He kills a bunch of stormtroopers just with his, his sand people weapon that he has.
Jaffe
'Cause he
stick.
because he doesn't have his stuff yet. But then he gets his armor, and not only fights back an entire troop transport of stormtroopers, but then destroys them once they're in the air. He's just like badass.
So let me get this straight. Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Crawled
Was it
out
because
of
of his armor protected him? Was that what happened, and then it ate away or something? Or?
Unexplained,
don't-
but that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. So the Baxar armor protected him from the Sarlacc pit's digestive system,
Yeah.
which was supposed to keep him for 1,000 years
Yeah, you're supposed to digest for 1,000 years, so you got time.
of pain.
Yeah.
You know. And,
Right. But I mean,
Yeah.
chemically and biologically, then if his digestive enzymes are weak enough that you digest over 1,000 years, you're just sitting in vinegar, right?
Yeah.
yeah, in
maybe not
retrospect,
even
this is
slow.
not that scary. You know.
Yeah. So
I mean, if the Sarlacc pit swallows you whole, you're good. You know.
I mean, he went in there with a backpack or with a jetpack, right? So it seems like you could just turn that on and eventually you'd get out.
And he had a blaster, and he had all kinds of tools. I mean, he was a fully functioned Mandalorian. You know. I don't know why they thought the Sarlacc pit was all that dangerous.
I mean, it was mostly just good for throwing Jedi in.
Jabba. I think that Jabba wasn't a very good criminal.
You are correct.
You know,
sir.
he structured a lot of very convoluted methods for killing people while partying.
well,
I think in the end, it just wasn't any good. You know.
I think his weakness really was the Sarlacc. He seemed to be good with almost everything else. He just really loved that Sarlacc bit for whatever reason.
God, look at how long it took him to bring in Han Solo. Yeah, I think Jabba is kind of like one of these original gangster rappers, like DMX or something, where he parties a lot and it hurts him in the end, and eventually kills him.
I've always thought of Jabba as being the sort of monster like a Baron Harkonnen. Maybe where he's been around so long, he's so spoiled by his trappings and his riches, and he's still evil, but maybe not as smart as he was when he was in his prime. That was always my interpretation.
Just waiting to be toppled by a younger, smarter, meaner
sail
gangster.
barge in Sarlacc pit is very inefficient to get rid of a Jedi.
It is, and.
So
we didn't talk about the other death this week, which was Tony Hsieh of Zappos.
That was a weird one. Did you know him?
Weird. So I had met Tony a couple of times at various events, and he was a nice guy, very sweet actually in his own way.
I saw him at an event once, and I don't know him personally, but the talk that he gave really rubbed me the wrong way.
The holacracy stuff, yeah.
I mean, his talk basically felt to me like you should be happy and you should be nice to people and you should do what you want. And I'm like, that's great, dude. You're a billionaire and you're telling this to people who are making, $9 an hour as graphic designers.
He's got the Jabba problem, right? He lives in a world that is so disconnected from reality that just doesn't occur to him, And
it eventually kind of killed him.
Yeah, apparently he struggled with chemical dependency. That's sad.
Yeah.
But then again, after 9 months of lockdown, who doesn't struggle with chemical dependency?
Well, I mean, the lockdown has exacerbated a lot of mental illness, a lot of these problems.
Sure.
So I got a lot of sympathy for folks. I mean, it's a shame he died.
For sure.
I wish he hadn't surrounded himself with sycophants like what was the puppet that was always around Jabba? I mean, We should just call people.
What was that thing's name?
Oh,
Salacious Crumb.
Basically, I think that
Did we tie?
Danger. Yeah, I think you did. I declare a tie. Jinx, you owe each other a Coke. So I think that these people are basically Salacious Crumb or the weird guy with the big neck thing. Jabba will see you now. And it's like, Tony Hsieh, he surrounded himself with Salacious Crumbs who were just like happy to start mainlight him nitrous canisters and in return for money. And it's kind of terrible. It's like people like that are kind of awful, So anyway, the entourage.
Yep, it's important to have an entourage that'll call you out on your shit no matter what.
Well,
right.
I mean, it's like, are they employees or are they your friends?
Right.
I hate to say it. If they're mainlighting you nitrous boxes, maybe just think twice. So unless they're a dentist and you're going under for dental work.
I don't know. There was a time and place for nitrous. That time and place was college.
I never tried nitrous.
Yes,
honestly, I'll take in helium from a balloon to make my voice funny, and it hurts my head so much. I can't do it. When I was a kid, I thought it was the funniest thing ever. But I was 8, and that's crazy high voice. But yeah, like I tried it like 4 or 5 years ago, just at a birthday party to be funny, and I was like, oh, never doing that again. That's crazy painful. Yeah.
No, and then if you try inverted helium, then I think your voice would go down, right?
Yeah. Negative helium.
Yeah.
From the mirror universe. Yes, that's right.
Something that's gone through the Tenet turnstile.
Oh, right. Through the turnstile. I haven't watched Tenet yet. So
me either.
Have you watched it, Rob Mulder?
Only 1.5 times.
Only? Okay.
I have it paused right now before the big final action sequence because I want to watch it very, very, very carefully.
Yeah.
I will say it is just basically Chris Nolan doing Primer.
Yeah, that was kind of the vibe I got from the thing. Here, I want you to do that again. This time I'm going to be your sound editor from Christopher Nolan. Go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be Chris Nolan.
Filet would.
No.
I got all the buttons going and none of them would stop. Yeah. They're actually. So I actually watched it with subtitles.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So I admire that about you.
We watch everything with subtitles in Mouse, which is actually.
I love. So can I tell you, Freddie's like, we were watching Letterkenny, and she's like, "Dad, can you turn on subtitles? I can't. I'm having a hard time understanding what they're saying."
Well, and that's a show especially that subtitles really helps because the wordplay that they are doing in some of those monologues is really, really impressively written.
It's really dense too. Yeah, we saw the one where they go through every letter of the alphabet talking about things.
Absolutely love. That's like first episode of season 3 or something.
Yeah,
that is amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Or it was in season 2, I think. But yeah, we're like going, and I was like R-S-T.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is so good.
There's a lot of stuff like that where it's wordplay and puns and like nested references. It's really clever stuff.
Yeah.
That's show.
And sometimes it gets a little tiresome, like when they go too far down the moist tunnel or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's it's like all of those shows. A good 10-minute edit would make, like, if that was like at a 12 or 14-minute show instead of like a 22-minute show, it probably would be funnier. But that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Also, the UK has totally bested everyone else. They're inoculating their whole freaking country. They're starting with the old and the home workers.
The first elderly lady got her
Marge
shot today.
Yeah. I mean, if things go okay, it looks like summer might not be a hellscape.
Yeah. Here's Marge Keenan.
Aww.
The first patient in Britain to receive the coronavirus vaccine. And look, she's wearing a cute shirt, a Christmas shirt.
The first story that I read about that was a Facebook story that somebody linked, and the very first comment was just this horrible piece of misinformation replied to by Cliff Lampy.
Wait, so Cliff replied to the misinformation?
Yeah.
Or Cliff posted the misinformation?
No, Cliff corrected the or mocked the misinformant.
Who was the misinformanter?
I didn't know the name.
Some random person.
On Facebook? But I thought it was only for friends.
You see...
No, this is probably on the M Live or something. That's what he responds most.
He trolls M Live.
I love Cliff.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's not here in the channel, so we can talk about him right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's
Gorgon's name, and the Gorgon must appear.
There's only like 5 people on Facebook that I actually like see on Facebook anymore. Everybody else I've muted or unfriended. It's like basically Mr. Roseboom, my wife, and Cliff Lampy are like half of the content that I see on Facebook. And Cliff is always just arguing with people about, anything politics. Do we have anything else on our list? Oh, how are you guys doing with the Star Wars special?
I'm still only 3 minutes into it.
I finished it over a couple days because I just wanted it to be, like when you're a kid and your mom, made you eat something you hated.
Yep.
The best thing to do is just power through it, not put it off, just
37 Brussels sprouts in a row.
Hold your nose, get a little extra milk so you don't have to really chew it. You can just swallow it like a pill. And so that's what I did. I got through it.
I look forward to getting your horrible, horrible feelings on it tomorrow. And Chris, if you haven't watched it yet, when music starts happening, you probably owe it to yourself to start skipping the 10-second skip button whenever music is happening.
I will. I should be able to fit some of it in today. So
for me, the music wasn't the worst part.
It wasn't?
Well, the music isn't the worst part for me, but it's the dancing that's occurring while the music is happening. That's the worst part for me.
For sure, the best part were the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
We should have just watched the commercials and talked about them.
That's what I'm saying, is that that's going to be fun. I'm interested because it's a time capsule from 1979. It's fun.
It is. It's very interesting.
All right, folks. Let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Chris Duana. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
This has been episode 551 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Mulder. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's going to be out of control.